Okay, greetings, peace. What's going on, sentient beings? It's Prosperity Priestess, and I'm back with a video. So, I have been making videos. I haven't been uploading them. Even the one I made like less than 2 weeks ago, I didn't upload, and I was supposed to upload that one and a whole bunch of other ones that I've made in the past 2, 3, 4 months. So, I'm still working on, even as we speak, getting over the various insecurities, visibility wounds, and I know that's what's occurring because I see how I'm even being faced with scenarios and I'm able to call out what I'm experiencing or seeing another person experience. And I'm even taking steps to work against that. Because they're just thoughts that we keep believing, and then it like solidifies and gets ingrained and gets bigger and heavier. And yeah, we just have to release it, let it go. And that happens not just by thinking and being aware, but by doing, taking the action that proves the new thought. The new thought is that, hey, this isn't an issue, or I can achieve this, that, or the third. A secure thought as opposed to an insecure one. That's the new thought in terms of eliminating or addressing the insecurities. So now that we have a new thought, because we took the time to recognize and call out what was occurring. So we'll look at this card. Took the time to call out what was occurring, and now we take an action to prove to ourselves that, you know what, that new thought is okay. That new thought is true. It's not just something I'm saying to make myself feel better. It is the reality. Anything achieved was first mentally conceived. So it goes through our mind and our feelings and everything. It's all internal at first. Just like babies being born, just like plants growing. It's all internal first. So, I'm here today, Prosperity Priestess, because I'm continuing what I started, and which is to put myself out there in different ways, broadcast my energy, my thoughts, my feelings, my ideas. Just to put my energy out into the world because it's needed. And it's okay for me to know that and say that and recognize that, and then to take actions and be that. So, and that's so important for me to do because it's important for all of us to do, because it's the concept of being your greatest self, rising to the occasion, phoenix rising energy. Like you burn it to the ashes, the old version, and then you rise anew. It's that concept. It is the ultimate task or ability. It's the ultimate ability because it's something that you do over and over and over, just in various ways. And it's allowing something to come from within and spring outward and to grow and expand. So whether that's it reveals itself in the form of our goals, like what we want to accomplish. And some things seem unattainable to us, but it's just insecurities, and we're literally here to get over those insecurities. And to accomplish whatever that thing is or those things are inside that we can see, and it's so exciting, but then we're not doing it. It's our responsibility, our ability to respond, to address that and to go and pursue those things, pursue your passions. And that's when we find out that there's all these roadblocks inside, emotionally, boom, insecurity. So it's of the utmost importance to get over them, to recognize that they are, it's false aspects, false narrative, it's programming, it's and I'm saying so many different things, the darkness and in the subconscious. It's those monsters that are in the dark, those things that seem big and scary. Um, that's what it is. And just like when we're a child and there's monsters under the bed, it's fake. It's figment of our imagination. It's what we think is there, but you really feel it. Your heart pounding, you're sweating, you're scared, just like in a movie theater. You know, you go to the movies and you know you're there and you're safe, but the scary scenes still make you jump. It still makes your heart beat faster. You still react physiologically. Different hormones, adrenaline starts responding or releasing different hormones because of what we're seeing, what we're thinking, what we're experiencing. It's not even what we're experiencing. It's just what we're seeing. We're seeing an experience, but the body is reacting as if it's actually occurring. So it's important to get in control of those things and to recognize that that's what is occurring. And just like if that could happen with a thought that's scary or a scene or experience that we're observing as scary, that can also happen and does happen with a thought or an experience that's so exciting or exhilarating or what's the word? Overwhelming joy, fulfilling. Yeah. We can and should visualize these fulfilling moments. You've used your imagination before and maybe come to tears over the immense pressure you feel inside, but happy pressure, happy tears about some experience that you're thinking about or grateful for. Gratitude, that happens when we have really true, authentic gratitude on deep levels, you know. Um, Also, we have that feeling when we're passionate about something. And when you're passionate, those goals, those things that you're so passionate about, and you know you want to do something about it, you have to and you should, then all you have to do is give yourself permission to move forward and then follow through. Follow through with that permission. So, this is why I make videos, because, you know, I was like, I want to be able to do something important, even if I don't know exactly what, but I know something I've said to myself many times is I want to help and heal myself while helping and healing a multitude of others. So that's what's important to me, and this is one way that I choose to do that. It's all through various forms of expression. I want to put words, intellectual property on clothes. Another way to express energy, information. Um, um, I wrote a book. Now I have to publish it. So um, that's another form of things something I can do to put my energy out to help and heal myself as well as a multitude of others. I like to pull these cards and show how the energy that we're tapping into is revealing itself, or what we're communicating about. Our thoughts become things, how the unseen controls the seen. I always speak about these concepts because I live it. And I talk about that as well. So, in coming forth on these videos, I'm overcoming various insecurities I have. Then you know they do reveal themselves in the birth chart, where you can see you know, certain energies that we carry, but then we're afraid to do it or be it. So, you know, I like to talk about astrology a lot and as above, so below, and communicate, show how it's occurring in my life. For example, I learned, you know, I have Chiron in Gemini. So in terms of communicating my ideas and thoughts, Gemini is a sign ruled by Mercury, which is commerce and communications. It's the quickest moving planet. Gemini rules the extremities, like our arms and what's it? Body astrology, the anatomy, the the anatomy that the Gemini sign rules is our arms. Having is this concept of duality, left and right. It's the quickest moving planet because it takes 88 days to orbit the sun. If you're looking at it in terms of astronomy, if you're looking at it in terms of what's these things? Not myths, but that's what I'm trying to say. Um, the different stories that different cultures have and theology. So it's the concept of the one who delivers the messages. Who delivers messages in Greek? Hermes. Huh? Hermes, I think. Yeah. Yeah. Different names, different cultures, same energy. And then I'm like, well, Hermes is the Heru energy. Hermes is the thought leader. But, you know, Mercury, when you look at the chakras, Mercury is the crown chakra. And that's what we are to do, is become the hero, become the Heru, go to the top, utilizing our crown energy and operate as such instead of in our lower nature. Thoughts become things. That's not what I meant to say. I meant to say I see the word Heka. I see it in my mind, my mind's eye, right? Well, that's the power of our words. So, like I was saying, I have Chiron in Gemini, and then it's also in my 11th house. So, like your dreams, other people that you're affecting in society, your house of gains, Aquarius food energy. And then I have Pluto in the third. And I was recently looking at my birth chart again because it's been forever. And I saw that because I know I have Saturn in the fourth, but I was like, where's my Pluto at? And I looked it up and it's like, oh, wow. And then I was watching videos about it, learning, because Pluto representing power and death and rebirth energy, resurrection, right? And digging deep. It rules Scorpio. So Pluto is in my third house. Third house is originally ruled by Gemini. It has to do with expressing, communicating your ideas, the mind. It has to do with your neighborhood. It has to do with your siblings. It has to do with early childhood education, things like that. I remember seeing something that says sometimes people with that sort of placement. No, I think that was a Chiron one. So anyways, in terms of communicating and expressing myself, even though I have all these powerful ideas and concepts and deep, I maybe that's insecure. That's something that I'm here to get better at doing and to overall master that, and that become a very powerful aspect of who I am. So that's a better way to say it. So it's interesting. Like I see how as above, so below it all plays out. You know, I've been doing this for a while now, going on like 6 years. I started my channel in 2020. I didn't even realize it's been that long. Nine of Roses, habits, it says. That's not what I know the Nine of Wands to be about, but I know that card to be the one where it's like been a really hard battle and you're going to fight through it no matter what. But this is why I like to use different decks so that learn about different energies and see how it all is correlating to what I'm communicating about. So let's go with that. Habits, what you've been doing for a while, what you are, what you care about. Yes, and sometimes we care about things that aren't good for us. Like if somebody has a habit of smoking cigarettes, you know, they do care about that. That's what they want to do. So that's just a concept of how that can be looked at. From habits can be positive or negative. So like I was talking about changing things subconsciously. This is the habit part. This is the take an action part. And the more and more you do that, you're gonna prove to yourself that it's okay to be that way. You won't then that way you won't have a insecurity about it. That will shrink. It will go away because your habit is mind over matter. Because you're telling yourself that is one thing. Now that you're telling yourself the healthy thought, it's going to make the old reality that you were experiencing not matter anymore, and to the point where it just shrinks away or evaporates or like goes far off in the distance, never come back because you've proved it to yourself. If you look at it neurologically, you're building new pathways. They say it takes like 3 weeks, 3 sets of 7, 21 days to form a new habit. So where you just keep doing the same thing, now you're just used to it neurologically. So if you're talking about nerves, neurons, the brain, mercurial energy once again, and firing off energy, it make the path deeper. Just like if somebody's walking in the woods, you can see a path or wherever in the grass. The more and more that path has been used, the more ingrained it is, the more regular it is, the more easy it is to just go that way. If it was water trying to flow or create a groove, same concept. But the more and more and more, it builds up momentum and it actually becomes form. So it becomes normal, natural. This is just what we do. It's good if you recognize that we're in control of all of our habits. The ones that are good for us and the ones that are bad for us. And you want to have more that are good for you than bad for you. The more and more you do that, you're creating. We're always creating our reality. We govern, operate, and destroy in our lives, in our world. And the more you do that for yourself in a beneficial way, the more you'll love and enjoy your life. So this is also why I make these videos, because I really like this, even if I'm shy about it. I have things to say. I got a lot to say. I told you, Pluto in the third house, and me communicating have a powerful effect on others. I see it all the time in my real life. um, I see how I'll be shy about stuff or like be doubting, like not want to say nothing, and then finally eventually I'll say something, and then it's transformative for someone, and it's like, yeah, I've been wanting to tell you that or say that, but I didn't know how, because sometimes things are touchy or emotional, and you don't want to be forceful or something, or what's this word, intrude upon somebody's like comfort zone. So that's, I guess, how I feel sometimes with my words, like that it might have that effect and I don't want that. Or it's also me being shy. So if, I think I started saying in the beginning of the video, fear of being seen. Not an approval wound, but yeah, showing yourself a wound. So this helps me in those ways as well. But yes, at work, one of my coworkers was like, well, you know all of this. Like, why do you work here? I was like, well, I have to make money. I'm trying to make money. So, oh, visibility wound. But that's the one I ended up saying. I was talking to her about it. Because something she said, and I was like, oh, I have a visibility wound too. She was like, what? So I learned, that's sometimes the way that I'll communicate something with someone. I'll talk about myself, how a similar scenario is relatable, or so I see the same energetics playing out, like same blockage there, stuck right here because of this reason. This is how you feel, and it's hard to communicate about. It's like, oh, okay, I get that, because I've been there as well. I'm still here. And that's important to me, is addressing how we feel and being able to release it so we can feel better. Because a lot of us, or what society tells us, shows us to feel or focus on, is like looking good. Ain't nothing wrong with that, but it's like I want to feel good, and I feel like that matters 10 times more. That's the only thing that matters. If you feel good, then who cares how you look? But a lot of us maybe live in the opposite, where we look good and we focus on that, but inside we feel we're not doing anything to focus on it or fix it, or maybe we don't know how, or that's not what's normal. Well, it is now. All right. So I like to promote that type of understanding. And when you like see me drop my head or something like how I just did, it's like I'm just having a moment of insecurity, and it's okay. I'm gonna keep going. I'm here. I'm gonna keep going. And even if I'm unsure of myself or shy about presenting myself or my ideas, that's okay. It doesn't mean that they're not important. And the more I recognize that I don't have to be afraid to express myself and then take action and choose to do that, the better I feel, the more I'm overcoming, and yes, I'm releasing it, and it feels good. You feel that lightness. So today the moon is in Leo. I'm a Leo rising, and everybody knows Jupiter moved into Leo this year, recently, like this month, I think. If in Western astrology. So I think Vedic astrology is the truth, but what I'm more aware of right now, the level that I'm at, and what I relate to and communicate about, is Western astrology. But I like looking up my Vedic astrology too, and I feel like that's more accurate of a system. I mean, that's what the Western astrology stems from. And if one is based off of calendar days, Gregorian calendar, it's just numbers in like a graph. It's very like rigid, whereas if the other is based off of where the the movement of the planets through the stars, through the cosmos, which is all stars. The stars that move are called planets, and the stars that don't move are constellations. And so it's just studying the movement of the stars, and that's astrology, and how it's a pattern, and how different certain energies mean certain things. Everything has its own message or vibration energetically, and how it all affects us individually and as a group, collectively, as above, so below. And it's an ancient science, and we base farming off of it. Oh, it shows time. We base time off of it. Agriculture, weather. Well, that would be why with the agriculture as well. Um, Location, direction, all of that. Because no matter where you are in the world, and no matter what time of day it is, and no matter what year, what century it is, those stars always been there. So even if you want to get religious about it, like some in the Quran or somewhere, it's been a while since I was in my Muslim stage. That's what I call it. Like there's different stages of life that I've been through. But it says something because it might have been a hadith. I don't know which book it was in. I don't know. That goes for all the religions. I don't know. I don't know. I don't claim to be them. I recognize that they're a deviation of or a watered down aspect of just spirituality, just concepts from various cultures throughout the world. Who it's not something I like to say is it don't matter what you call it, just tap into it. You know, because something I realized as a youth, like how could like going through Christianity and stuff, like what happens to people who live in a different country and they speak a different language? Like, are they gonna burn in hell? because they don't know Jesus or Jehovah or whatever, because different religions teach different concepts. So I went through, process of learning about different religions and learning through experiencing, which is why I'm allowing my child to do this bullshit right now, even though she knows. She's gonna hear it every day. Is brainwashing. Religion is to brainwash you. They want sheeple. They want control. They want you to believe in anything except yourself. And that's most people's issues, not believing in themselves. And I'm sitting here speaking from experience. In real life, as I'm still trying to, not trying, I'm doing, I'm being about it, get over that hurdle, climb that mountain. So I can then use my wings and jump off of the mountain and realize that I'm no longer a caterpillar, I'm a butterfly and I can fly anywhere. Ta-da! And be free and be liberated from the shackles of my mind. Okay, so let's see what this card is. 8 of Gems in reverse, and it says perfectionism. Yes, that's exactly what I'm talking about. That's why I do this. It's Prosperity Priestess. You know what it is, you know who it is, you know what I do. Getting over that concept of perfectionism. And I'm a Virgo. So right now the moon's in Leo, and then soon, because it moves 1 degree every 2.5 hours, right? So sometime tonight, and then definitely by tomorrow, the moon's gonna be in Virgo, and then sometime it's gonna be conjunct the South Node. I don't remember what degree it's at right now, even though I just looked at today's placements before I start this video that I had to end soon. South Node, moon's about to go through the South Node of Virgo, and so that's relevant. Obviously, it has to do with releasing it. And it's so much is so interesting. Like, I just got out of a relationship. Well, that was like a month ago. But I'm seeing how, now that Mercury's in retrograde, you already know. They always want to come back. Like, what? I should have been left. And then when I finally do, I can't allow that to happen. And it's just true colors showing. And then after they, like, become a monster and show the true colors and reveal it, then after that, now they want to be sorry and then admit that they were wrong the whole time. And confirmation, sirens. Confirmation. You know me, you know what I do, you know what it is. Prosperity Priestess. And it's great when you can just recognize that it's all part of your journey, and like, it's like, wow, I made a choice inside, and then find out that it aligns perfectly with like what's occurring in my life. Like, it was just a full moon in, what's the opposite of Leo? No, it was in my 5th house, but I think it was just a full moon in Capricorn, which is the opposite of Cancer. Yes, that's what it was. So, and that's my 6th house, but it probably fell in my 5th house. All I know is that it was, and the sirens are getting louder, confirmation. It was just perfectly in alignment with what I was experiencing in my life. And I was like, wow, I didn't do that on purpose. It just is. It's great how it reveals. So it's very, affirming, but that's the word, confirmation, just confirming. It's really confirming, like those sirens. Like, wow, thanks astrology for letting me see that I am right in alignment with my best version of myself. And sometimes I gotta release something. And then once you release it, then you're like, oh, I should have been did this, and I know that, and wow, how did I not see all of this? And I did see these red flags, but how did I allow myself to be there? Then you gotta forgive yourself and all that. So it's always a process, but it feels good. Like, you already know releasing things is that's part of it. Like, just like you gotta throw out old clothes, or you get a bleach stain on your shirt, you're not wearing that anymore. You might as well turn that into a purse or something. Practice making curtains with it. And it feels good to let go of things that are heavy and that you don't want and that are no longer serving you and they don't got no purpose in your life. They can keep it moving, and it feels good because it's like, wow, I'm doing this so much quicker and better than I used to. I'm not trying to be perfect. I'm just recognizing how I feel and moving with it, whether it's I got to release this person, release this situation, or I have to release this thought process, this insecurity about myself, because fuck that. I'm perfect as I am. I'm not born in sin. I don't believe none of that religion shit. Gratitude, I don't believe none of that. I said what I said, that religion shit. Because that's what it is. Because the whole point of it is so that you won't believe in yourself. Yeah, and it makes me mad. But I'm happy to know that I'm not trapped by that thought anymore. And now it's like, okay, so make sure you're not trapped by that reality either. You could say it and think it all you want, but when you need to be it. And sometimes I recognize when I'm not being that, and it makes me sad, and that's okay. I guess to change it in the story. And that makes me happy, and I change it, and that's what I'm doing. And you don't gotta be perfect. 8 of Gems is when you get the cash is coming in. I like that it's the perfectionism in reverse, because that's exactly what we're talking about. Oh, and with the South Node in Virgo, like is yeah, um, Virgo representing that perfectionist energy, South Node representing in the past and our lower selves, and when we have to release, it's not that anymore. And what we're comfortable, our comfort zone, you know. We're comfortable keep putting it off until it's perfectly done. No, we're not doing that no more. What's this? The Emperor in reverse, because we got to come into our power. That's how we do it. Taking those actions, being that person, sitting on the throne. And anything that they throw at you, use that to build your throne. Four, Emperor is a 4 energy. Emperor is a major arcana. Emperor is ruled by, it's an Aries card. I mean, a Mars card. Power. Looking at this word Mars right here. And about dandelions, which are very powerful. Very healthy. Like, yeah, I'm getting into, like, I gotta start using my power again. My voice, I told you Pluto power. That was what we were talking about earlier. Use my voice and even taking actions with my health and getting back on my smoothies. And I was thinking power because I was like, yeah, put the hemp seeds and the pumpkin seeds and the summers in my cabinet that's just been sitting there. That it's like I'm not being so consistent, not operating in my power. Gotta change that. Look at the next card already out, success. So you can flip it up right when you're operating in it and using your power. And what comes next? 10 of Shells, success. It feels amazing. 10 is also a power number. Like I told you, Pluto. That's how I think of it. I think of 10 as Pluto. Because it's power. It's the 1 and the 0 coming together. It's the yin and the yang. It's the full picture. It's the heart and the mind. And that's when you transform into being the best version of yourself. Getting over those habits, not letting perfections get in the way, using your power, you be successful. And then there's the judgment. And that perspective. That's beautiful when, you know, you get to the point where you're like, even though I wasn't perfect before, I'm still grateful for me. I'm happy that I am moving past these things and allow it to hold me back. I'm grateful for all of the journey, and I know that those hurdles were there to prove to myself that I can overcome anything. I can do anything I put my mind to. So that's great. It's a quote my mom always told me. And I'm like, wow, look at that. Pluto in the 3rd house. Yes, the power of my mind. Using that now. Ace of Swords. Using my words. Using my words. It was in reverse. Aces are always like a yes. They're always a They're always a yes. They're always a win. They're the strongest intensity or power of that suit. So words and swords. Swords is words. It's air. And swords is words. And you look at they're all the same letters in there. If you look at it etymology wise and what it represents energetically, swords is words. So yes to my words. And you're watching me do it in real time. That was the first card that came out in reverses. I was talking about how I haven't been doing that, and I'm happy that I am doing that now, and it makes me feel great. It makes me be successful. I'm grateful for being able to overcome these little hurdles. They're light work. But anyways, I gotta go. More videos to come, and I'm getting myself back into the groove of me, and it's exciting. Remember to always ask ancestors and surely seek spirit. Peace.